Greetings, San Marcos community. This is a review of the SMUSD English Learner Master Plan, Part 2. Part 6 of our English Learner Master Plan addresses multi-tiered systems of support for English learner students. Multi-tiered systems of support, or MTSS, is the integration of evidence-based instruction, interventions, and assessments to address the full range of student academic and behavioral needs present in today's classrooms. In MTSS, the needs of all learners are identified and supported early through increasing levels of instructional intensity and time. By using performance data and through monitoring learning rates and social, emotional, and behavioral development of students, schools make important instructional decisions to meet the needs of all of our learners. All SMUSD schools will provide an inclusive, equitable, and positive learning environment for each and every child. Multidisciplinary site teams will address every student's academic, behavioral, and social-emotional learning through a continuum of support that is universally designed and differentiated to meet the needs of the whole child. Inclusive academic instruction supported by California's state standards and frameworks and response to instruction and intervention. Inclusive behavior instruction such as positive behavioral intervention and supports and restorative practices, as well as inclusive social-emotional learning guided by our California SEL principles, are integrated together to create the core pillars of the SMUSD MTSS framework. San Marcos Unified will ensure culturally responsive schools that increase attendance, prevent dropouts, lower disciplinary rates, improve school climates, and boost academic performance for all students. Response to instruction and intervention, or RTI squared, begins with high-quality, differentiated instruction throughout the day and emphasizes intervening with students when they first start to struggle to avoid prolonged academic difficulties. The first I in RTI squared is instruction. Strong Tier 1 instruction is the foundation of RTI. In SMUSD, core instruction and grade level expectations are delivered to all students through the Tier 1 instructional block. Effective Tier 1 instruction encompasses high expectations, standards-based whole group and small group instruction, a balance of skills-based and knowledge-based competencies in reading, differentiation, and purposeful use of data. RTI also offers additional instruction with multiple entry and exit points based on students' needs. A student who is on grade level may receive high-quality Tier 1 instruction and enrichment, grounded in universal design for learning principles. The second I in RTI squared represents interventions. Interventions are designed at increasing levels of intensity, depending upon student needs. It is essential that we recognize that students do not need to be evidencing a deficit to access tiered interventions, as Tier 1 encompasses universal interventions for all students in the areas of academics, social-emotional learning, behavior, and college and career readiness, delivered through core instruction. Tier 2 indicates supplemental interventions for some students evidencing a need. Tier 3 refers to intensive interventions for a few students. It is essential to note that Tier 3 is not interchangeable with special education services and supports. Tier 3 is a function of general education. It should also be noted that students may move throughout tiers with fluidity and flexibility as needed in response to interventions in place. Robust Tier 1 instruction is about aligning high-quality core instruction to standards, implementing instructional practices that support all learners, maximizing student growth by using differentiation strategies, such as adding depth and complexity to the curriculum, scaffolding lessons, pre-assessing students to form flexible groupings, implementing interest-based learning centers, employing questioning strategies, facilitating independent study that emphasizes students' areas of interest, previewing, reviewing, reteaching, and front-loading information. And finally, providing structures and systems for creating a positive school and classroom climate, as well as explicit and integrated instruction of social-emotional skills. Through MTSS, students have access to increasingly intensive supports based on their unique needs and learner profile. There are many important considerations for educators when working with English language learner students. The first is a recognition that all staff members have a common understanding of and commitment to the premise of opportunity to learn for students from culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds. Next, an understanding that English learner development is part of the core instructional program. Teachers of English learner students should integrate listening, speaking, reading, and writing into all instructional activities, explicitly teach the components and processes of reading and writing, explicitly teach and model reading comprehension strategies through metacognition, use narrative language strategically, focus on vocabulary development, build and activate background knowledge, and teach language through content and themes. Scaffolding is intentionally designed for learners' particular needs and is strategically carried out. The level of scaffolding depends on a variety of factors, including the nature of the task, learners' background knowledge about relevant content, and learners' proficiency with the language required to engage in and complete the task. Scaffolding is both planned and in the moment. Our work as educators is grounded in knowing our English learner students. All teachers in San Marcos learn students' language proficiency levels and what those language levels mean, in addition to reviewing each student's learner profile in Synergy Teacher View, the SMUSD adopted student information system. Teachers, after reviewing this information, are able to make connections to provide appropriate classroom supports for students based on language proficiency needs. Because English learners must develop language proficiency in addition to learning grade level content, they need extended time and quality core programs to be successful. All students should have access to both designated and integrated ELD on a daily basis. Students not making adequate progress in the regular classroom in Tier 1 are provided with increasingly intensive instruction matched to their needs on the basis of levels of performance and rates of progress. This is also known as Tier 2 targeted interventions. Intensity varies across group size, frequency, and duration of intervention, and the level of training of the professionals providing the instruction. These services and interventions are provided in small group settings for approximately 5 to 10% of students, in addition to instruction in the general curriculum. Students who continue to show too little progress at this level of intervention are then considered for more intensive interventions. Tier 2 strategic intervention and support is about aligning and integrating core instruction, school-wide academic and behavior supports, which means that in addition to their core instruction in Tier 1, teachers provide supports that include intensifying evidence-based strategies or use other evidence-based instructional programs. It also involves matching the interventions to the specific student needs and using data to provide more time and intensity of instruction and support while regularly monitoring student progress. Tier 3 intensive instruction and intervention is about extending beyond Tier 1 and Tier 2 instruction and behavioral supports, increasing time and instructional intensity on a narrowly focused set of skills for academics or behavior, integrating Tier 3 instruction and supports within the core classroom instruction, using frequent data in collaboration with the team to regularly monitor student progress. And finally, collaborating among all adults involved in the student's learning. This may include the student's family, classroom teacher, interventionist, administrator, and instructional coach. Part 7 of the SMUSD English Learner Master Plan addresses professional development. SMUSD ensures that all administrators or additional teaching personnel whose assignment includes English learners also hold appropriate certification to provide necessary instructional services. Teacher hiring and placement decisions are based on student and program need, including English learner enrollment data and other relevant factors. The district's collective bargaining agreements are adhered to in making all staffing decisions. Whenever open teaching positions require bilingual or English learner authorization, the district human resources staff actively recruits and hires teachers who are fully certified to fill these positions. SMUSD works to design professional learning and support systems for teachers of English learners that represent the shift from professional development to professional learning that is targeted, individualized, based on principles of adult learning theory, sustained, supported with coaching and follow-up, and finally monitored and assessed to evaluate the impact on student learning. An example of this professional learning is the English Learner Improvement Collaborative, also known as ELIC. In August 2019, SMUSD launched a partnership with the San Diego County Office of Education with the express purpose of improving achievement outcomes for English learners. This multi-year project involved administrators, English learner coordinators, literacy coaches, and small teams of teachers from all schools within San Marcos. The goal of the English Learner Improvement Collaborative is twofold: to build the capacity of San Marcos schools to improve academic outcomes for all students, including English learners, through system investigation, implementation of research-based practices, and continuous improvement, and also to build an assets-based culture where students furthest from opportunity are able to thrive. The ELIC includes a combination of targeted professional development and best practices for educating English learners, as well as improvement science, in addition to structured, facilitated professional learning communities and coaches. Every site within SMUSD participated in English Learner Shadowing Days in order to build empathy for students and to determine site-based trends and needs. Team leads work with San Diego County Office of Education facilitators to develop site-specific goals and aim statements with the intention of improving outcomes for our English learners. ELIC will continue in future years, with site team leads continuing to focus on building capacity among staff in the areas of oracy, literacy, and designated and integrated ELD. SDCOE will continue to support the work at the schools through ongoing coaching and monitoring of site English learner plans. Part 8 of the SMUSD English Learner Master Plan addresses parent and family engagement. Currently, we have 2 parent advisory committees specifically for parents and guardians of our English learner students. At the site level, we have the English Learner Advisory Committee, or ELAC, and at the district level, the District English Learner Advisory Committee, or DLAC. SMUSD is committed to establishing programs that foster connections with culturally and linguistically diverse families and that strengthen interpersonal ties that cross institutional, ethnic, family, and cultures in order to enhance the educational outcomes for our English learners. In SMUSD, exceptional is the norm for all. Some of our strategies for increasing parent and family engagement include a focus on homeschool collaboration, ensuring appropriate interpretation for parents whose first language is not English, and involving parents and guardians in decision-making. Each year, SMUSD will offer district-wide parent and family engagement opportunities to supplement the events occurring at individual school sites. Specific opportunities will be designed for families of English learners with the purpose of increasing achievement for our student groups. Parents will provide input as to the district parent and family engagement events and topics addressed through our annual DLAC needs assessment, as well as the Hanover survey. In addition, we invite parents to be part of our LCAP stakeholder input process. Face-to-face workshops traditionally are offered in conjunction with digital resources such as parent videos, podcasts, in 2020 and 2021, inclusion of Zoom meetings and webinars, in order to provide multiple modes of communication and outreach. Part 9 of our English Learner Master Plan addresses program evaluation and accountability. The SMUSD team believes that accountability is everybody's responsibility. This includes students, parents, and all personnel at the school and district level. Rather than considering evaluation as an annual event, we consider it to be part of our daily work. We are all accountable for ensuring that our programs are optimally effective. District and site level staff will routinely monitor implementation of all English learner programs. The primary goal of the monitoring is to ensure that every school in the district has effective and compliant research-based programs for our English learners. The monitoring process is designed to establish high expectations for all students and provide a framework for ensuring that student and organizational outcomes are achieved, promote full involvement of all stakeholders and all phases of planning, implementation, and evaluation activities, provide for high levels of coordination between district and site-level improvement efforts, and ensure that program evaluation is an integral part of school improvement initiatives. This will also provide a basis for the review and modification of our English Learner Master Plan on an annual basis. Data is collected and analyzed in order to determine the effectiveness of our programs. Data analysis processes and procedures are guided by data inquiry elements that include cycles of monitoring, evaluation, and accountability in order to inform and improve our curriculum, assessments, and instruction. District and site-level leadership are prepared to guide this process with an emphasis on the implementation of research-based strategies and programming for our English learners. School principals are responsible for the daily site-level implementation of the English Learner Master Plan. Throughout the academic school year, principals develop goals that are aligned to this plan, specific to the achievement of English learners within the context of their school goals included as part of their school plans for student achievement. Goals are updated and evaluated in accordance with student progress at mid-year and end of year. San Marcos Unified has identified student benchmark expectations for English learners enrolled in all of our program options. The following data will be analyzed to monitor and support progress for all of our English learners. First, state-mandated English Language Proficiency Assessment Scores, also known as LPAC. Next, district-wide interim assessments in English Language Arts. And last, state-mandated standardized assessments in ELA and math, also known as the CASP here in California. Part 10 of our English Learner Master Plan addresses resource allocation. San Marcos Unified is required to complete an annual LCAP federal addendum describing programs and resource allocation for monies provided by the federal government. Title III funds are allocated for the purpose of supplementing professional learning, services, supports, and programs for English learners. This year, Title III federal funds were designated to help our English learners in the following ways. First, we funded our English Learner Improvement Collaborative, which is a year-long professional development initiative through these funds. Next, we availed every school site the opportunity to implement after-school English learner language academies to provide extra tutoring and support for recommended students. We also implemented a special program just for our English learner newcomer students at the secondary level so they could also receive specialized academic support after regular school hours. And finally, we will implement summer programs to help prepare students for the next grade level with a specific focus on language and literacy. English learner students, upon teacher referral, will also have access to Rosetta Stone software as a supplemental tool to aid in English language acquisition. All SMUSD sites will be held accountable for increasing English language acquisition progress and increased achievement for our English learners through development of targeted goals addressing the English learner student group included within their school plans for student achievement. Site principals will collect and disaggregate LPAC and student achievement data and develop goals for continued improvement. The superintendent and assistant superintendents will also review the goals and goal progress in these areas with the principals. Site administrators will also conduct formal and informal walkthroughs to observe designated and integrated ELD, providing specific feedback to teachers. Every site will also participate in the district-wide English Learner Improvement Collaborative in partnership with the San Diego County Office of Education, setting short-term achievement and language acquisition goals for our English learners, then reflecting upon goal progress on an ongoing basis, receiving specific and targeted coaching and support from SDCOE, and how to meet our unique goals. Additionally, all SMUSD sites are required to monitor progress for our current English learners through analysis of local benchmark assessments in tandem with language analysis frameworks. Students not progressing will be offered additional supports and interventions designed by individual schools and included within their school plans. All sites will also be required to monitor progress for reclassified fluent English proficient students for a period of 4 years following their reclassification, providing input through the district digital tracking sheet. On the progress monitoring sheet, site teams will enter planned or current interventions for students not making adequate progress. That concludes a summary of the 10 components of our SMUSD English Learner Master Plan. To close the presentation, let's hear from some of our high school students who have recommendations and insights to share with our community.
I wish my teacher know how it is being an English learner, because when I first came here from Vietnam, I knew nothing but Vietnamese language, and I wasn't able to understand what my friends told me to do. It is so bad being isolated with your friends as well as other people around you. And the only thing I could do is to study English as much as I can. And to do so, I didn't give up. I keep pushing myself forward and make myself motivated as well. And I'm here today to share with you guys a little bit about my journey. And I hope you guys will try your best to achieve what you want and keep pushing yourself forward. And remember that practice is the main key to be successful. And never give up as well.
I wish my teachers knew that times have changed and that I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm trying my best. It's my first year at this school and also at this country. My favorite thing about my school is that I can make friends of any country, even if it's by computer. Another thing that I would like that my teachers knew is how hard am I pushing myself to get my goals, to make my dreams come true. That's why I'm reaching to you. I want you to teach me everything that you can so I can be someone. Thank you.
Hi, America, and I'm in grade 12. I wish my teachers knew that I keep working hard in everything, and I'm really grateful for the help from you. I extremely appreciate your enthusiasm and the way you're looking forward to us, your students' progress. I'm consistently feel happy every time I see you because you always appear with a bright smile before starting the lessons. Even though I think you would definitely inevitably get tired of works awaiting for you. In addition, this online learning is also seen as a major concern with self-study, it is almost difficult than face-to-face learning and requires concentration, inquiry, and diligence. However, you have invariably support students and always radiant when appearing on Zoom to minimize boredom or fatigue at this stage. So, by the way, I just want to say that I'm grateful for the sincerity, affections, and connections made. Thank you.
This concludes our presentation of the second part of our San Marcos Unified English Learner Master Plan. Thank you so much for your time and attention. If you have any questions or feedback regarding the English Learner Master Plan, please reach out to our EL coordinator, Patricia Carrillo. Thank you so much.